Here we go with the first hive inspection of 2023. I was quite nervous about doing this because I did wonder if a lot of the bees had died during the winter and that it was going to be a really weak hive or a really weak colony of bees. However, I was actually pleasantly surprised when we went through all of them because despite all the mistakes that I made during the winter, with putting boxes on the wrong order and things like that, they'd actually seem to have, I wouldn't say they've thrived, but they've survived. And what I was doing here was really trying to correct some of the mistakes that I'd made during the winter. I've ended up with too many supers, which were brood boxes in the wrong place. So I was trying to rectify that, and I almost ended up separating the hive into two. I'm just putting a little smoke, as you can see from the caption, just to calm bees down a little bit, because I was going to be there for a little while, messing around, just seeing what was in there. And I was trying to remove one of the supers completely. So in essence, we just had a brood and a half in there, and then the plan was to put the queen excluder back on this hive. So that just means that the queen stays in the bottom and the brood boxes laying eggs, and then the supers, which are the big boxes you put on top of the queen excluder, are just what they'll be. The honey will be. We'll be taking honey off that hopefully in a few weeks. Depending on how the bees do. There's also, we're surrounded at the moment by fields of rapeseed oil, which in terms of the honey isn't fantastic because it actually makes it set really quickly, but the bees are absolutely mad for it. They love it, and it is literally in every field surrounding where this hive is kept at the moment, so they'll be very happy. It's just harder work for the honey, and it just means that you have to take the honey from the hive in a shorter frame so that it isn't actually start setting in the hive itself. Whilst we were doing all of this, it was a good time to inspect the brood boxes, just to make sure that the queen, the queen was in there, because that was one worry, is that we've managed to lose the queen, or she'd gone off in the winter, but actually we found the queen, not because I'm good at spotting queens, because I'm not, but because she'd been marked. So she had a bright green mark on her back, which was made it really easy. We could also see within those frames that there's larvae and the queen is laying eggs. And a good indication of that is the bees bringing pollen into the hive, because if there's eggs in there and larvae, they'll bring fresh pollen in to feed them rather than use any stores that might be left from the winter. So I was actually quite relieved at how this all went. The bees seemed pretty happy, quite calm, bearing in mind we were disturbing their house for around 10 or 15 minutes while we went through everything. And whilst it's not ideal that there's a brood and a half on there, it just would be better for there to be one brood box. It's just easier to manage. At least now we've sort of managed to rectify the fact that at one point there were 3 brood boxes on there, which is too many. And really, in the top brood box that we took off, the queen hadn't been in there, and there weren't really that many bees in there, so it wasn't such a big job. I thought I'd be brushing thousands of bees off. And at the moment, there's probably about 10,000 bees maybe in a hive at this time of year, but it should go up in prime time in the summer to about 60,000, which is quite good for me because I do still feel quite nervous around them, so that it seems a much more manageable amount rather than last summer when the noise of 60,000 angry bees when I woke them up was pretty scary. So I felt really relieved at the activity and the fact that we saw the queen in here, and it gives me some hope that we'll manage to get some honey off this hive and have lots of happy bees for the rest of the season.
Brilliant. It's not a lot bigger, is it?
No, that's right. You would. It's got shorter wings.
Yeah.
Right, so we know the queen's in there, and you can see like larvae in there. See that white stuff down there as well?
Yeah.
So that's really good. So all I'm going to do now because I don't think. This is what happens after that. Oh, they are going down now, aren't they? Right, see how they've all disappeared now? So now there's less of them, so then what we can do is just...
There's a tiny bit of room there, so that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then
Yeah, good. Fantastic.
whoops. Say well done, girls, for surviving when I didn't have a clue what I was chewing.
we thought
all
they were dead,
across
didn't we?
you.
Yeah, so well done.
I thought they were all dead. That's quite,
Yeah.
that's quite good.
No, like bees.